All right, so Brendan, let's try and share our experience of how we integrated ICL GU and the Sonomer UBM into our practice. I think we've had it for just over a year, and it feels like now that we couldn't work without it. But can you just show how we integrated it into practice and how it now fits into the patient flow? At what point in the flow does this get done, and what are the tests do we do?
Yeah, of course. But when a patient comes in for a refractive evaluation, they're getting pentacam, topography, epithelial maps. And depending on their prescription, if the nurses think that they're a myope and there might be an ICL candidate, they also get an anterior segment OCT. And then they have their cyclopedic refraction, and we do their fundus exam, we do their surface exam. And at that stage, we will go through their options with them. And if ICL is the solution that's best for them, we'll recommend ICL to them. So we don't do UBMs on everybody that comes through the clinic because it takes a while and it's nurse time that takes longer than doing a pentacam. But any patient who books in for an ICL procedure, they book in then for a UBM. It's usually 4 to 6 weeks before their surgery date. We can do it sooner, but we want to give ourselves a bit of breathing room for ordering the lens and potentially more discussion with the patient if needed. Once they've got a date, then we book them in for one of our sonnet clinics that the nurses do. One of the other things that we've also integrated in is for our hyperopic cases is doing their YAG peripheral iridotomy on the same day as their sonomet. So they come and have the sonomet right after the sonomet, pilocarpia, and then we do the YAG PI. And for those really high myopes, we do a contact lens over refraction before their sonomet. It's kind of an extra visit where we can just really refine things, and it fits in really seamlessly. The fact that the nurses don't have to go through all of the manual planning that was involved in OCOS, they're just putting in the measurements, dimensions, and then getting the GURU printout there and then, means that they're doing less work on sizing now, but way more accurately.
Exactly. So up until recently, you're still doing OCT, we're doing the Nakajima formula, we're doing the Russo formula. So we have 4 things to make the decision. But the newest iteration of ICL GU, the entire decision can be made just on the UBM.
Yeah. But again, we're not going to be doing UBMs on people that are booked in.
I understand, but you don't need all the other things to validate anymore.
No, exactly. They're only there just to prove that it was as good as the other previous ball style.
Yeah, I'm glad we had that overlap for a year where you could really see how compared to all the other things we were doing. But it's so good now that all the information you need is coming off the UBM. You don't need other information.
We would never have adopted a technology blindly. We were always going to do it in parallel with what we've been doing previously until we could see it as good or better. That's what we've seen in the last year, is that there's nothing like it. There's nothing that gives us results like this in terms of predictive accuracy.
I really like the idea with hyperopes too, especially the +7s, +10s, a young patient with those kinds of numbers. Not many have very deep anterior chambers, and you don't have many options for them. And what's really helped now is the fact that we can far more predictably and safely put a lens into someone where previously we mightn't have done, within limits, obviously.
Speaking to other ICL surgeons, people that have done numbers way more than me, most of them have maybe a handful, a dozen of hyperopic cases that they've gone for, whereas I've done 6 already.
Because
it's just part of what I offer now.
I like our patient flow, where the patient comes in for the UBM, we find out, yes, you're suitable. We've got a lens size for you. So now we're going to go ahead. So you can go and have your PI now, and you're ready for surgery whenever. It saves them a trip to the clinic.
Yeah, very streamlined.